If I could give one gift to my 50-year-old self, it would not be money, but wisdom. Take this lamp, for it carries 10 life lessons.
For more than 15 years, I've worked with many clients in their 60 seconds and 70 seconds. And if they could turn back time to give their 50-year-old selves one piece of advice, these are the lessons they would share. These 10 lessons are drawn from real experiences and can help you live the second half of life with more meaning and happiness. There are 10 inches total, and lesson number 7 is something I personally struggle with. It is a trap that many retirees often fall into. For them, it might be too late, but for you, it is not. So let's begin with the first lesson. Looking back on life, many older people realize that we all go through 3 very distinct stages, each with its own balance and its own shortcomings. In our 20 seconds and 30 seconds, we have plenty of time and abundant health because we are young and full of energy. But we lack money since we are just starting out, still trying to build a career, and have little savings. Moving into our 40 seconds and 50 seconds, most of us become more financially stable, with steady jobs and good income, and our health is still relatively strong. But time becomes scarce. Much of it is consumed by work, career responsibilities, family duties, and social obligations. Then, as we reach our 70 seconds and 80 seconds, the picture shifts again. At that point, people usually have more time because they are retired, and they may have accumulated financial resources after decades of work, but their health begins to decline. The body is no longer as strong, physical activities become harder, and even a simple trip can feel like a big challenge. Yet in between these stages, there exists a very special period often called the golden window, which falls around the ages of 50 to 60. This is a rare time when time, money, and health are more evenly balanced. By then, you may have built enough financial security, your body is still capable of movement and adventure, and family responsibilities may be lighter. That is why it is crucial not to postpone dreams, travels, and experiences that require energy and vitality. If you delay too long, once you reach your 70 seconds, you may regret missing out on this golden window that will never come again. In life, everyone has the same amount of time each day, but how we divide and use it creates a huge difference in the quality of our lives. Many people who have gone before us emphasize that there are 3 essential types of time we all need to balance. The first is time for career. This is the time we dedicate to work, striving to build success, achieve financial stability, and create security for ourselves and our families. For most people in their 20 seconds through 50 seconds, career tends to consume the majority of their schedule because professional demands and family responsibilities are so heavy. The second type is time for relationships. This is the time we spend with family, friends, loved ones, and nurturing meaningful social connections. Strong relationships are a vital source of emotional strength, joy, and support, especially as we grow older. Yet in reality, many people sacrifice too much for their career while neglecting or underinvesting in these relationships. The third type of time, often the most overlooked, is recovery and renewal. This is the time devoted to activities that recharge us physically and mentally, such as walking in nature, exercising, meditating, spending time in a sauna, woodworking, gardening, or pursuing other healthy hobbies. Recovery time creates balance, helps us restore our energy, and allows us to continue working productively while also enjoying life. The important lesson here is to consciously schedule and protect a portion of your time for renewal, treating it as a non-negotiable priority. Only when we consistently recharge ourselves can we maintain resilience, find lasting joy, and truly live fully throughout the journey of life. In life, a person's identity and sense of self-worth should never be defined by work alone. Yet in reality, many people allow their career to consume nearly all of their time and energy, so that when retirement comes, they feel lost, because they no longer know who they are apart from their job title. A helpful way to understand this is to imagine a pie chart of identity. Picture your life as a circle divided into slices, each slice representing a different area. If work takes up nearly the entire pie, then once the job ends, you are left with emptiness. But if you consciously divide the chart more evenly, you give meaningful portions to family, to health, to spiritual faith, to relationships, and to personal passions. When this chart is balanced, life feels richer and more fulfilling. One of the most powerful pieces of advice older adults often give is to revive old passions that once brought joy but were abandoned in the rush of career. It might be hiking, playing a sport, painting, singing, writing, or any artistic pursuit that once lit a spark inside you. The key is to act while you still have the health and energy, because many of these activities may no longer be possible at age 70 or 80. By reshaping your pie chart of identity now, you prepare yourself for a future where you are not only defined by professional success, but also supported by the joy and strength that come from multiple areas of life. This balance helps ensure that the later years are not empty, but filled with meaning, resilience, and genuine happiness. In the second half of life, one of the most important lessons is learning the right to say no. In earlier years, saying yes to opportunities, commitments, and obligations may have helped you grow, build a career, and expand your relationships. But as you move into your 50s and beyond, continuing to say yes to everything can drain your time, energy, and joy. This stage of life calls for a shift in priorities, where protecting your well-being becomes just as important as pursuing new goals. Saying no is not about rejecting people or shutting doors. It is about making intentional choices that align with your values and preserve your strength. By learning to decline certain social obligations, unnecessary work tasks, or commitments that do not serve you, you create space for the things that truly matter. The freedom to say no becomes the key to living with more clarity, energy, and peace. Throughout life, people often become so absorbed in chasing work and money that they forget the most precious asset is not wealth but time. Money can grow, it can be invested and multiplied, but time can never be increased. Each passing day reduces the amount of time we have left, and once it is gone, there is no way to buy it back. This is why many older adults, looking back, realize they spent too much energy accumulating possessions while missing the chance to enjoy meaningful moments with family, friends, and themselves. Time has a unique and relentless quality. It seems to move faster the older we get. In youth, a year feels endless, but as we enter the second half of life, the years slip by quickly. One day you are in your 40s, and suddenly you find yourself at 60. Because of this, it is crucial not to let ourselves be swept away by endless busyness, but instead to live deliberately and appreciate each present moment. That might mean carving out more time for children, for aging parents, for a spouse, or simply for solitude and self-reflection. When we recognize that time is more valuable than money, we naturally reorder our priorities. We stop wasting energy on meaningless pursuits and begin investing in the experiences and relationships that bring true joy, fulfillment, and peace. Time once gone is gone forever, which is why choosing to use it wisely is the most important decision we can make. Although we cannot create more hours in a day, there are practical ways to effectively buy back time and extend the quality of the years we do have. The first way is by investing in health. When you consistently care for your body through regular exercise, maintaining muscle strength, engaging in cardio activities, and supporting mental well-being, you are not only improving how you feel in the present, but also extending the number of healthy years you will enjoy in the future. This kind of investment compounds over time. A commitment to fitness, balanced nutrition, stress management, and mindfulness can slow the decline of physical capacity and allow you to remain active, vibrant, and independent longer. In essence, by putting energy and resources into your health today, you are buying additional time tomorrow, time that is still healthy and capable of supporting the activities and adventures you care about. The second way to buy more time is to outsource or delegate tasks that you either do not enjoy or are not particularly skilled at. Consider chores such as power washing a deck, changing the oil in a car, cleaning gutters, or other labor-intensive and time-consuming responsibilities. You could spend several hours struggling through them, or you could hire someone else to complete the task efficiently, freeing you to spend those hours on activities that genuinely matter to you. Not only does this give you back valuable time, but it also supports others by providing work and income. Together, these two strategies, investing in personal health and delegating unwanted tasks, allow you to reclaim precious hours and extend the span of life that is both healthy and fulfilling. One of the most common traps people fall into in midlife and retirement is what can be called the status game. This is the pursuit of expensive symbols such as luxury cars, high-end watches, or other costly possessions in order to project success or maintain a sense of relevance. While the initial purchase may bring excitement and validation, the truth is that these feelings almost always fade quickly. Many people find that after the first weeks or months, the object that once seemed so important no longer brings daily happiness, leaving them with little more than a large bill. The deeper reason behind this urge often lies in comparison with others, fear of losing relevance, or the desire to confirm self-worth at a time when career identity is shifting. However, real fulfillment rarely comes from material symbols. A practical approach for anyone tempted by this is to rent or try the experience first before making a purchase. For example, instead of spending a large amount of money on a luxury car, consider renting it for a week or a month. This way, you can enjoy the excitement, satisfy your curiosity, and discover whether it truly adds value to your life. Many realize that renting the experience was more than enough and saved them from a costly decision. The key lesson is that lasting joy is not found in possessions, but in meaning, purpose, and experiences that enrich your life and relationships. By stepping out of the status game, you reclaim freedom and focus your energy on the things that genuinely matter. Many people assume that their expenses will naturally decrease once they retire, but the reality for most is often the opposite, at least in the early years. The first stage of retirement is sometimes called the go-go years, a period when energy is still relatively high and there is a strong desire to explore, travel, shop, and enjoy experiences that were postponed during the busy decades of work. As a result, spending can rise significantly, sometimes far beyond what was originally planned or imagined. Trips abroad, new hobbies, renovations, gifts, or even spontaneous purchases can quickly add up, creating financial pressure if they were not anticipated. This is why many retirees are surprised to see their budgets strained early on and then have to make adjustments later. The important lesson for those in their 50s and 60s is to start preparing now by tracking real expenses instead of relying only on estimates. Using financial tracking tools or apps that categorize spending gives you a clear picture of where your money actually goes each month. Over time, these records help build realistic expectations for future retirement costs. Knowing how much you spend on groceries, entertainment, vacations, or eating out allows you to see patterns and make smarter choices. It also prevents the shock of realizing too late that retirement is more expensive than expected. By cultivating the habit of monitoring expenses in your 50s, you gain valuable data and insights that will make your retirement plan far more accurate and reliable. This preparation ensures that the go-go years are enjoyed with freedom and confidence instead of worry about money running short. One of the most valuable pieces of advice from older generations is to never neglect relationships because they become the foundation of happiness and resilience in later life. As careers wind down and daily responsibilities shift, the true measure of a fulfilling retirement is not only financial security, but also the strength of personal connections. Reaching out to old friends, even after decades apart, can rekindle bonds that provide comfort and joy. Many people discover that with true friends, time apart melts away quickly and the relationship resumes as if it had never paused. In addition to old friendships, dedicating more intentional time to family creates moments that will be cherished both by you and by those you love. Sharing meals, stories, and experiences strengthens bonds and leaves lasting memories. Equally important is the choice to open yourself to new connections. Joining a club, a community group, or a class centered around a shared interest such as hiking, art, or music introduces you to people who bring fresh energy and companionship. These new friendships can enrich your days and give you a sense of belonging. Relationships act as an anchor through the challenges of aging, offering both practical support and emotional encouragement. They provide joy, laughter, and perspective in a way that possessions or achievements never can. The lesson is clear. Nurturing connections should be an ongoing priority, not something left to chance. By investing time and heart into friendships, family, and community, you build a network that not only enriches the present, but also sustains you in the years to come. True wealth in retirement is found in the people who walk beside you, Retirement should not be seen simply as an escape from work or a long period of rest, but as a new chapter that invites you to run toward purpose. For decades, many people dream of leaving behind the stress of deadlines, meetings, and responsibilities. But once the initial relief fades, a deeper question arises. What now? Without a sense of direction, retirement can quickly feel empty or even boring. The key is to plan for a life filled with meaning, rather than just leisure. This could mean pursuing a personal project you always put aside, whether it is writing a book, starting a garden, or building something with your hands. It might involve serving the community, mentoring younger generations, or dedicating time to a cause that matters to you. It could also be embracing the arts, exploring creativity through painting, music, or other forms of expression that nourish the soul. Purpose does not have to be grand or visible to others. It simply needs to give you a reason to wake up each day with energy and hope. By shifting focus from running away from work to running toward meaning, retirement becomes not the end of life's story, but the beginning of one of its most fulfilling chapters. If you are in your 50s or 60s, there are simple but powerful steps you can take right now to prepare for a more meaningful and fulfilling second half of life. The first is to choose one recovery activity that you commit to doing every single day. It might be a 30 to 45-minute walk, a session of yoga, time in nature, or a quiet moment of meditation. By making recovery a non-negotiable part of your routine, you continually recharge your energy and protect your long-term health. The second is to create what can be called a pie chart of identity. Dedicate 5 to 10% of your time and energy to a personal passion outside of work or family duties. This could be learning a musical instrument, painting, hiking, or any interest that feels like your own. The third step is to write a no list. Each month, identify 3 commitments or invitations you will decline in order to protect your time and well-being. This helps you free space for the things that truly matter. The fourth is to track your spending for 60 days. Use a financial app or even a simple journal to categorize your expenses and see exactly where your money goes. This gives you real data to estimate what retirement may actually cost instead of relying on guesses. Finally, schedule 2 meaningful connections in the next 2 weeks. Reach out to an old friend you have lost touch with and join a group or club that shares one of your interests. These connections bring joy, a sense of belonging, and a network of support for later years. By starting with these 5 actions now, you lay a strong foundation for a retirement that is not just secure, but deeply rewarding. You cannot change the past, but you can choose how to live the second half of your life. Every choice you make today shapes the quality of your tomorrow. So do not just listen and set it aside. Take action now. Choose at least 2 items from the list and start this week. This will be the first step toward creating a retirement that is healthier, more meaningful, and truly fulfilling.